Whatever. Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, good afternoon. Waiting, see if we can get a little bit more people coming in. Good morning, good afternoon. It's beautiful Sunday, Labor Day weekend, but there's no rest for the weary, they say. So I'm surely part of the weary. So looking at the news, looking at the car news this week, I figured I'll expand on that a little bit and how it may affect the future markets. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you all for joining. Hi Timon, hi Terry. Thank you for joining. Okay, so in the news this week, we had quite a few things. First, September 5th is a big day for BMW in Germany. They're going to announce the Neue Klasse, the Nouvelle Klasse. So basically, like something to replace the 3 Series, new class vehicle. It's electric, of course, and we've seen previews of it, and it's particularly ugly. It looks like it's some kind of origami design. I mean, you've seen the BMWs on the road lately. I think their head designer, first he needs to be fired, but I think he has an affinity for origami of some kind, because all those straight lines crossing each other doesn't make any sense. I always believe that the design of a vehicle should answer questions, not make you ask yourself questions. Why is this going this way and this way? There should be harmony, and definitely those new BMW design, there is no harmony at all. And the Neue Klasse is going a little bit, I've said like a hi Laurie, hi everybody that's joining, thank you. Buffalo Soldier, hey, love that name. So it's very risky what they're doing as far as design, and you want to introduce something that's going to replace something, and that's presenting the future. And I think they're going to introduce on September 5th some kind of new X3, Neue Klasse, and it's a little scary. It's really, for BMW, a make or break moment, probably. The German legacy manufacturers, I talk about them a lot, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen, BMW, they are approaching a make or break moment. BMW is really seeing their make or break moment. Okay, either that's going to work and it will be a BMW in the future, and you guys here in the US that sell BMW will have something to sell, or it's going to break. And Ola, the Mercedes-Benz CEO, is really hitting on the horn and saying, hey, we have a big problem. Okay, the problem is this 2035 mandate. The European Union, so a bunch of political, financial elitists that decided to take over the European countries and pretty much decide for Europe what's going to be the future of Europe, decided that by 2035, the car manufacturers in Europe, their lineup should be electric. Because the net zero and the carbon emission, and so we're trying to solve a problem that does not exist. There's no CO2 problem in the world. It's just fine. It's the way it should be. Actually, we are CO2 deficient. We are going into a cold period, not a global warming period. Earth is cooling. Why? Somebody is making money, obviously, because when corruptions happen and those kind of things, there's always someone that's making money. So follow the money at all time. In the meantime, it has this mandate, this 2035 mandate, had put a tremendous amount of pressure on the legacy manufacturers. They spent billions of dollars, okay, with no return, no ROI. If you're familiar with sales and business, return on investment, there is zero return in investment. Okay, I mean, if you're selling vehicles here in the US, you know it. Those electric cars are lot anchors. They are not moving. Okay, so in Europe, they are selling because huge tax incentive, huge tax rebates, Okay, so yes, of course they are selling because people are gaining something out of it, but that doesn't make the car makers gain anything from it. Okay, so I was reading on LinkedIn that sales of EVs and BEVs in Europe are going steady or climbing. Okay, but let's imagine that in Europe right now, a Trump comes in and say at the end of September 30th, no more tax breaks, no more tax incentives. Do you think that in any country in Europe, the BEVs will still sell? Of course not, they won't sell anymore. Everybody's in it for the money, either a financial gain or a tax of some kind, which is still a financial gain. That's why they're buying electric cars in Europe. Okay, take away all the credits and the incentives and the benefits, and they won't sell. It's a made-up market. It's a made-up market. That's what it is. Okay, and I don't want to get into politics, but it's great that at least after September 30th, we're not going to have a made-up market, a propped-up market, because it's a lie. It's a lie. You want to be successful in a business, it has to sustain itself based on its own merit. Okay, that's just pure economic. I mean, my major is in economics, and it's a long time ago. You're talking 40 years ago, okay? But there's still a principle. If you want to be successful, it has to be on its own merit. There is no propping up, there is no incentives, there is no tax breaks. Either your business is good, either your product is good, or it's not. If it's good, it makes money. If it's not, it doesn't make money. You're out of business, period. You know what? No matter how many times you fall, just pick yourself up, try again, start again, do it again. Okay? That's what it is about. And so I'm sorry, but that European market is fake. It's absolutely, totally fake. And on top of it, to make things better, the Chinese are coming in with their cheap-ass vehicles, right? And they are like kind of taking over the electric market. So those European brands, Stellantis, Fiat, Volkswagen, all those car companies now, they spend this billions of dollars, and they are behind in technology and in updates over the air and vertical integration. They are completely behind on everything. And now the Chinese are coming in and they are eating away their market. It's a lose-lose situation for the legacy market in Europe right now. And if nothing is being done, some of those brands will not survive. That's why I'm saying, long story short, this September 5th BMW product release is a make or break moment. We'll know in 5 years. I think the next 5 years are going to be, and I say 5, maybe the next 2 years in some cases. I'm looking at some Stellantis brands. If you're selling any Stellantis brand here, just keep your ear to the ground, see what's going on, see what's happening. Look at the news, search the news, because within 2 years, Stellantis is going to have a big shakeup. And the German car makers, within 5 years, it may be a different pictures. It may be a different pictures. The fact that Mercedes is going to BMW, say, hey, can you make us a little 4-cylinder? Because they don't have Nissan anymore to make them a little 4-cylinder, because Mercedes-Benz sold their stakes in Nissan for $325 million, because everybody is running after the money. Let's find money wherever we can, selling assets, closing factories. Volkswagen could fire 35,000 people. 35,000, that's huge. I think Mercedes-Benz is around 15,000. Okay, that's a lot of people that could be out of a job. So it's happening all in Europe, but if you're here in the US and you're selling BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Audis, any Stellantis product, believe me, at some point, it will impact you, okay? So I don't want to be pessimistic and alarmist just for the sake of it. I'm just saying in Europe right now, there are a lot of things happening, and we need to be aware of it, because eventually it's gonna transpire to the market here and affect the market as far as product release and what's coming, what's not coming, what vehicle are selling, not selling. In the meantime, Toyota, they're firing on all cylinders, man. Those guys are like, hey, look at our new, what do you want to call it, sports car, super sports car they released at Monterey with the long hood. They kind of made like a Japanese Viper. It's going to have a big V8 on it, and it's going to be a sports car, and they built it to be a GT3 contender. In the meantime, Mercedes has not announced anything to replace the old AMG GT that's running in GT3. Audi has nothing to replace the R8 in GT3 racing. Kudos to Toyota. People at Toyota just like going for it, and I think that's fantastic. There could be a next Supra, so they already announced there's a next generation Supra coming. It may have a V8, which personally I think it's a mistake. The Supra should have a 6 turbo, and that's it, a 6 turbo and nothing else. They want to slap a V8 in the Supra. Okay, fine. Probably a small displacement V8, something fun. So we'll see what comes out of this. I think that Nissan should be given a second chance, a third chance, whatever. They have had problems before. The Infiniti product looks good. The Nissan product are starting to look very good. I hate to say it, the electric vehicles look pretty good too. Although I'm not for electric cars at all. I think it's a big mistake. Hybrid, diesel hybrid, hydrogen hybrid, alternative fuel hybrid. There is a lot of things out there, but the governments and non-government entities, elitist, financial elitist, and political elitists are making decisions for people. I'm especially thinking about Europe right now. There's so many other options that are better than electric. So it's too bad that people got brainwashed into thinking that we needed to solve, I repeat myself, but we needed to solve a problem that doesn't exist. There's no CO2 problem to solve. There is no net zero what? How are you going to replace the rubber on the tires? Tires are made out of rubber, okay? That's not net zero. You can have the most fuel efficient or electric car or whatever that you want. You're still running on rubber, which is petroleum based. There's no net zero transportation. That's a pipe dream. That is a total pipe dream. That is a lie. That is not possible, okay? Anyway, I'll stop ranting. That was my rant of the day. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for, if you want to give me a follow and get some automotive news. And also, of course, Sell Stock at Chris. Sell Stock with Chris is all about selling, how to sell more, how to sell better, how to make more money. Watch my videos, follow me. Thank you all. Happy Sunday, happy Labor Day.